All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our weekly Team Passion Zoom call. It is Monday, September 19th, and I'm super excited to have you guys all here tonight. So thank you for those that are joining live and for those who catch the recording. Before we start, I wanted to kind of open up the phones here or your faces, your video or your phone. I would love us to celebrate something this week. So give a shout out of something that you did that was exciting this week, something out of your comfort zone, something that, you're not used to doing and you did it, or just anything that you want to celebrate in your business this last week since we last met last Monday. Do you have anything you want to celebrate that you did? It can be in your health and fitness, whatever. Anybody? Nope, you all sucked last week. I'm gonna say that's a no. Anything?
All right.
Thank you, Erica.
So I had been getting away from getting people on the phone, and for some reason, I was fine asking in the beginning, and then as people gave me more no's along the way that just wanted to sign up online, I was like, fine, that works. But I definitely like to hear people's whys. I like to, understand what's going to help them. Maybe a program that they had been doing or want to do does not fit, what they should be doing. So I feel like you can learn so much more and answer a lot of questions too that might come up after they order. So definitely I've been getting 4 or 5 people on the phone this week.
Nice. That's awesome. That's huge. Nice. Very, very good, Erica. Congrats. So important. Honestly, guys, if you get 5 to 10 people a week on the phone, you're going to sell 2 to 3 challenge packs a week. It's crazy. People aren't going to say no to you on the phone. And then you sign them up right then and there. You say, okay, great. Well, I have you. Here's my website. Let me walk you through this. And just do it. Get them going. I love it. Anybody else? Kelly sent out some invites to a specific 21-day fixed group instead of free groups. Awesome. Very cool. Anybody else?
I started getting more personal in my, sorry if you hear football in the background. I started getting more personal in my challenge groups. I do a welcome video typically every time I have one, but after today's National Wake Up Call too, I want to start doing them more often and going live and really creating that face-to-face contact with my challengers. So I get on the phone with them, but seeing me in my energy rather than my words, I think is a lot more powerful than I think I was portraying it to be.
Yeah. I had a good run of that. I would do live videos every other day in my challenge group a couple months ago, and right before the summer, and yeah, they loved it. If whatever I was feeling that day, they totally loved it.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Chrissy. Anybody else? All right, well, that invitation is open the entire call. If you have something that you want us to celebrate with you, we would love to do that. So a couple of topics I wanted to chat about tonight. I want to talk about focus, and I want to talk about consistency. These Zoom calls are going to kind of turn into this type of stuff for a little while because we have many Zoom calls on how to invite, how to build your list, how to time management, how to convert customers to coaches, we have a ton of training on that, whether it's from me, whether it's from other leaders, whether it's from YouTube, whether it's from the National Wake Up Calls. So we have a lot of how-to trainings. And if you haven't figured it out, I'm a very how-to leader. I like to make sure you know how to do all of that. But we have the 7-day quick start groups. We have the Sprint to Diamond groups, so there are very how-tos all over the place for you. What stops many people from success in the business is this mindset stuff. So I really want to, we focused on that last week. I really want to continue that through at least the rest of September, and really just kind of each week pick a topic that's going to make you stop and think and make you realize what you need to work on internally so that you can come out of your shell and have this huge success. Of course, I'm going to throw some how-tos in here because that's just what I do. But so here's a couple things that I wanted to. I want us to talk about focus, but then I also want us to talk about not focusing. Okay, and what I mean by that is I want you to focus on like 2 to 3 goals right now, and like that's it. Like I don't want you to. Like, I want you to have your big goals. I want you to have your 5-year goals. I want you to dream big. I want you to have year-end goals, things to happen by next summit. I want all that to happen, but I want your daily to-do list to be focused on what do I need to do every single day to move me towards these top 2 goals. I would even just choose 2. Like right now for me, my focus is on recruiting. I am watching this volume go in the wrong direction. I'm watching all of that happen, and I'm like, okay, like this is what Mark and I do. Like we don't have other jobs. We don't have other sources of income. So when that happens, I get focused, and Mark and I sit down and we're like, what do we need to be doing? We have been putting off doing webinars for 2 years because we just haven't had the time to sit down. Today, we sat down and we started watching our webinar system that we bought so we can learn how to do really great professional webinars. And because right now my focus is on recruiting, and I need to figure out how to recruit better. We got some business ads up and running this weekend. We were, again, for those of you who've been following everything that's been happening in my life, I'm exhausted from the summer when I first found out, that my biological dad passed away. Like, I feel like I've been on this emotional roller coaster since July. Like, I am like, oh my gosh, right? And so on the weekends, I just, like, there was one night you guys saw, I was like, I'm going to shut down, guys, for the night. It was Thursday night. I had Chinese food. I had an ice cream sundae, and I shut down. And the calories didn't stay in me that long because I never eat like that, so it was all good. But I just, that's what I needed, and I needed to shut down. But then, Friday we never work. We worked Friday, because I'm focused. I'm focused on what I need to do, what we need to do, and what I need to be bringing to the team so that everybody's recruiting numbers can be up, not just mine, right? So right now, recruiting is my focus. So I'm learning. 6 years into this business, I'm learned every day. My daily action items are, okay, how do I become a better recruiter? What am I doing? I'm still going to find my challengers. I'm still going to do all that, but I'm going back to the beginning. When I started this business, I came in for the business. I came in to get healthy and fit. I was looking for a way to get healthy and fit for sure. But as soon as my coach said, there's an opportunity for you to make money, I was like, what? Talk to me. So I'm looking for those people. I'm looking for people who are, have an amazing work ethic, people who want to, either contribute to the household's income, take some pressure off their spouse, whatever it may be, whatever their goal may be, but I'm looking for those people. So every day I'm focused on who are these people, where am I going to find them, how am I going to find them, I'm journaling about them, so that's my focus right now, right? But I'm not focusing so much on that I'm neglecting everything else. So that, I think, is one of the things that happens. I say to you guys, okay, focus. And then everything else falls off sometimes for people. Or they get so focused on one thing that they get super stressed out because it's not happening. And so their focus goes in all these different directions, right? So I want you to focus on one thing and decide what you need to work on right now, whatever that may be for you. And I want your daily to-do list items to all be around that. But then I also want you to know that you still have to do your 3 vital behaviors, right? And I want you to not focus on the outcome of what's happening. So I want you to focus on action, but don't focus on like I'm focusing on recruiting, but I'm not going to stress out if I don't in September recruit 10 coaches, right? I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to focus on the outcome. I'm just going, how am I going to become a better recruiter? Where am I going to find these people? Like, that's my focus, but I'm not focusing on, I need the numbers, right? Does that make sense? So like if your goal right now is to earn Success Club every month and that's your focus, great. What your true focus should be every day is waking up and going, who am I going to help today? How do I get better, offering free content on social media? How do I learn, where do I go? Maybe I can go find a Zoom call on how to do this better. Or, so your focus is on Success Club, yes, but you're not focusing on those numbers that it stresses you out. You're focusing on your daily action items to get you to hit earning Success Club, right? One of the things in all of this focus and not focusing on the outcome is consistency, right? I asked people who, if you've been in the 7-day quick start, if you just finished up, what were your biggest takeaways? I think there are about 6 of them. Everybody said consistency, 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 right? So you have to define what consistency looks like for you, right? You consistently wake up every day and you brush your teeth, right? You consistently wake up every day and you eat food, right? It's just what you do. You consistently wake up every day and, you get your family, your kids ready for school. Whatever those consistent habits are, you figure it out. Regardless of if you're sick, if you're like moms, we're just not allowed to get sick ever. I don't know how we function, how the family just can't function without us. But, through all of that, you figure out a way to get through life every day, right? So through all of whatever's happening in life, you've got to make sure you're consistently working your Beachbody business. Every single day, whatever those hours look like. And again, it's not a perfect world. So you may sit down on Sunday night and line up your whole week, and then something happens in your life and you're like, well, that's not happening right now. That's okay. You can adjust. Like I said, Thursday night, I shut down. I needed an emotional shutdown. Like I closed everything. I flipped my phone over, turned it on mute, plugged things in other rooms and just focused on nothing. And, that next day I made up for it. Friday, I was like, okay, I normally don't work on Fridays, but I literally have 12 messages sitting in my inbox from shutting down last night. So I'm going to get some work done today. Right. So I made up for what I needed to do when I needed to back off Thursday night. I made up for it on Friday. And it wasn't torture. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I have to work on Friday. I never work on Fridays. I don't want to do that. Like, I just went in and was like, okay, I didn't work last night, so let's see what I got to do today to get through my to-do list, that I didn't do last night, right? So I want to talk about each of the vital behaviors with this in mind. So think of this focus that I just talked about. Think about not focusing on the outcome, and think about the consistency. First and foremost, this has been drilled in our head lately and from the beginning, right? We have got to be products of the product, right? We have to be. And I'm the first to admit that is the first thing that goes away for me, consistency-wise. It is like, ever since I was talking to a woman at dance tonight, ever since the whole thing happened with my dad in July, I've gained about 10 pounds and I feel awful. Like I feel uncomfortable. I feel bloated. There's so much stress in my body right now and I know it. And I need to get back and focus, right? But I'm not going to focus on the 10 pounds that I need to lose. I'm going to just focus on making sure each and every day I'm doing a better job with my health and fitness, right? So that's something you've got to do. As a new coach, or even as a coach maybe who isn't very consistent yet, be, in this product of the product thing, be the ideal challenger. So, and what I mean by that is, if you're a new coach, chances are you're in a challenge group with your coach, right? You maybe haven't branched out and ran your own challenge group yet. So either way, if you're running your own challenge group, or if you're in a challenge group with your coach, either way, be the ideal challenger, meaning post every day in that group. Post your workout, post your Shakeology, post a recipe, post pictures of your food, post your meal plan for the day. Like, post things that you want your challengers to post. Post things that your challengers would love to see. Post things that hold you accountable. Like today, last night, or this morning, I don't know when it was. I'm not gonna pretend. I wrote out my menu for the day. I got Sharpies out and I colored boxes, and I made, I know we have beautiful 21-day fix charts and apps, but I am a pen to paper girl through and through. I just can't get away from it. So I drew it all out myself. I wrote out my entire menu today. I did have a couple slip-ups, like my Star Wars Cheez-Its. But in general, I stuck to everything. I stuck to the whole meals. Even we ordered lunch today. Monica came over, and it was her birthday, and I promised her a birthday lunch, but it was day one of me getting back on track. So I ordered a salad, and I portioned them out. I pulled out my containers, and I portioned out my salad. And I just was focused, and I told my challengers about that. So I was being the ideal challenger because I know that's what my challengers want to hear or want to see, right? So think about that when you're being the product of the product. Are you posting every day in whatever challenge group you're in? Like, if you're a new coach and you're in my challenge group, are you posting in my challenge group every single day? It's the getting in the best shape of your life group. Make sure you are. Because if you're the ideal challenger, you're going to attract the ideal challengers. Okay? Invite people as if you want to be invited, right? Like, so I think many of you can relate to this. Now that you're in Beachbody, and specifically now that you're in Team Passion, and you get this training from us, and in this whole mindset of how Team Passion runs, you don't ever send spammy emails, right? Like, you can tell when one comes in your inbox from another MLM, right? You can tell it was copy and pasted, and you ignore the person. You're like, I am not answering this. This was a copy and pasted invite. It was a script, and this is one of the reasons why I don't teach you scripts. New coaches beg me for scripts, and I don't do it. And this is why. I don't want to give you a script so that all, there's 29 of you on this call, so that all 29 of you go and use this script tomorrow. Like, that's not being you. That's not being real. That's not what we do. But there are many MLMs that do that, right? So invite people as if you would want to be invited. Like, if you were to think about when you said yes to your coach, what did that invite look like? Go back and see if you can find it. Go see if you can find the conversations that you and your coach had when you finally said yes. And then go and duplicate that same behavior to your family and friends. Think about what your pain points are. So when you're posting on social media, post about those pain points, because people are going to relate to you. So whatever those pain points are that you still feel now, regardless of what your health and fitness is like, you still have some pain points, right? There's still some sugar cravings somewhere. There's still, sometimes when you walk by the mirror, there's still some of that feeling. So whatever those pain points are, post about them on social media, because you're not the only one that have them. So that you'll be attracting your challengers with those same pain points, and then you're going to talk about how you overcome them. So you're going to say something like, you know, I still struggle every day with, you know, not with wanting an ice cream sundae or something. It's my pain point. Mark is like, you could literally eat ice cream every day. I'm like, I could. So, you know, whatever that pain point is, and then I'll say, and then you can say something in the post, but luckily, you know, Shakeology has helped with that. And then I'll even say, but it doesn't always help because I still want ice cream. You know, but so I'll just talk through the pain points in my post so that people can relate to me, right? So think about what your pain points are. So why did you say yes? And think about that when you are inviting or when you're talking to people on social media. When you're focusing on your social media content too, this is something that I struggle with on my like page all the time. And I finally got over it. But I used to go, I don't want to create content for my like page. Or, oh no, Mark would be like, let's do a video. And he'd be like, this is going to be like the first impression that everybody on your like page has of you. Literally, you guys know I can talk on my video, I can talk here, I can talk at Super Saturday. Like, I have no problem talking. But as soon as Mark was like, this is going to be the first impression, I was like, and I would like read a script. I would need him to put a whiteboard up with bullet points. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I'm frozen because now everybody needs to like me. Like, it was like I needed to impress them. So I finally got over that, and I was like, you know what? I just need to talk to my lifers. And that's probably just 10 people on my like page right now out of 10,000. Like that, and I'm okay with that. And so I just need to talk to those 10 people, and I need to be real, and I need to be me. And so think about that when you're creating your social media content. You don't have to impress everyone. You don't. And you're going to have people that make comments that are stupid, and they're going to private message you stupid things. It's all on them. Whatever they are saying about you or your business or your health and fitness, like Mark was like, oh, did you ever see this comment on your YouTube video? And I'm like, no, what? He's like, oh, on your transformation video. He just literally said this to me the other day. He goes, someone commented a while ago, why would you listen to her and her fitness advice? Look at her belly. And I just started laughing. Like, I'm like, what is wrong with people, right? And then I made a social media post about it. I'm like, I don't pretend to be perfect. I don't pretend to give you fitness advice. I just tell you that I'm real and I struggle, and I just hope that some of you will join me in this journey. Like, right? So that's who you want to talk to every day on your social media, and you want to ignore the silly people that make silly comments who obviously have issues with themselves. And one of the biggest issues they have, the people who private message you about your business and like, you know, congratulations, it's really great, but I seriously am so sick of your posts or something like that. You know, people do that all the time. Something internally is happening with them. Like, your posts are bringing out like issues with themselves, like, because you're so positive and you're like having an amazing time doing your workouts, internally they're like, I suck, right? And they're just, so your posts are bringing them down, but that's their issue. they're interpreting your post that way. So don't ever, just let it go. Seriously, let it go. Just like Elsa says, okay, let it go. And the third vital behavior, I'm going to skip the fourth because recognition, you can recognize people all day long. Like, that's fun. Is your personal development. And one thing I want to say about this personal development, like Melissa McAllister said today on the National Wake Up Call, like, your personal development, not every day and not all the time, can be you learning more about the product or learning more about the business. I say that all the time. I'm like, if your personal development today could certainly be that you watched a Zoom call or you watched a webinar on how to be a better recruiter, or, you know, that's okay. But just make sure you don't only do that. You've got to tap into the real personal development stuff too. I was thinking on the way home from dance just now, we left the dance studio at 8:30. It takes me 25 minutes to get home. So I call Mark and I'm like, I need you all hands on deck. As soon as I open that garage door, you need to greet me and take these kids and get them upstairs because I have a Zoom call to do, right? And so I was thinking on the way home about the personal development piece, and I was, I was thinking, I'm so tired. Monday nights are so hard. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we're at the dance studio till I don't even know when. I'm exhausted, but I still do this call every Monday night because I've made a commitment to all of you. And then I was thinking, I wish I could just go home and watch TV. Sometimes I think that, and then I'm like, I don't even know what's on anymore. Like, I don't even know, Shamar's gone from Criminal Minds, so what's the use, right? Like, I'm like done with that. But even when he was still there, I do Zoom calls for the Diamonds on Wednesday night at 9 when that's on. So there's TV that I'll watch and that I'll put on if I'm working during the day or sometimes at night on the weekends, things like that. But I wouldn't know what's happening on Grey's Anatomy or Game of Thrones or The Bachelor. Is that even on? I saw a commercial for Survivor. It's coming up. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know what night anything is on because I'm doing personal development when the TV's on. Or I'm figuring out how to be an ideal challenger. Or I'm inviting as many people as I can to my next challenge group. Or, I'm journaling about my ideal business partner. I'm consistently focusing on this business. Again, it's okay if you have a couple TV shows that you watch. I'm not judging because I was a TV-aholic with DVRs on every TV. But I quickly realized, like a week into my Beachbody business, when I was trying to work Beachbody and have a 2-month-old and a 4-year-old and watch TV, that TV wasn't making me better in life. Like, it was an escape from reality, and we need that. I'm, again, not judging. I watch TV, I watch movies, but I don't have a schedule of, okay, I have to be home at this time on these nights to make sure I watch that. I don't have that anymore. So I want you to think about when you sit down and some of you maybe, I'm still gonna watch it's okay. But I want you to sit down, before you sit down and watch TV, I want you to ask yourself, is this growing my future? Is sitting here for this hour going to help my family reach their financial goals that I've promised them with this Beachbody business? So just ask yourself that question every time before you sit down to watch that TV, because I would much rather you watch a Zoom, watch a YouTube, watch somebody on YouTube, doesn't have to be me, or pick up a book. There is nothing, about a year ago, I stopped putting the news on before bed. I'm like, why do I put the news on before bed? No wonder why I have nightmares, right? Don't fall asleep with your TV on with the news. That's bad. That's just feeding bad stuff into your brain. So if you can, read a good book that's on the nightstand, those last 10 minutes before you fall asleep, that's going to do you a heck of a lot better than the news. So those are all my thoughts for the evening. I hope that was helpful. Again, I want you to focus. I want you to be consistent, but I don't want you to focus on the outcome so that it stresses you out. I want you to focus on your goals and what you need to do, but only do that within your daily action items, because if you do all 3 vital behaviors every single day, even on Saturdays and Sundays, I tell people, you work out on Saturdays and Sundays. Yes, maybe Sunday is your rest day or whatever, but some of you still stretch or you go for a walk or something, right? Saturday mornings are an amazing time to connect with people. 8 a.m. to 10:30 before their family weekend happens. Those are ideal times. 8 to 10 a.m. Talk to people. And then Sunday night, once the weekend's over, they've settled down, they're dreading the next day. Those are great times to talk to people too. So I'm not saying you have to work all weekend, but 8 to 10 Saturday mornings and 8 to 10 Sunday night. Fit in those times because they're really good times to talk to people. So any questions, any thoughts, any comments? Nicole started Eat That Frog today, and she invited a frog. She ate a frog and she didn't invite a frog. That's weird. She ate a frog and invited a no from a few months back that I thought was worth asking again. Yes, awesome, Nicole, for sure. Things change in people's lives. There is nothing wrong with asking someone multiple times about the opportunity or about joining your challenge group. Honestly, I said yes right away, but did you? Maybe not. Maybe it took a couple times for your coach to ask. Was that helpful? Did you get some nuggets? Some clarity, what you need to focus on? And through your personal development that you're doing consistently every day, you're going to figure out why you're not consistent in the other areas. Okay? Through your consistent personal development, you're going to figure out why you don't consistently invite. Or why you don't consistently figure out how to build your list better. Things like that. So, yeah, I didn't know what I was doing 6 years ago. I still don't know what I'm doing. Sometimes I still don't know what I'm doing, but I just figure it out. I'm not a top coach. I'm not a top 10 coach. I think I've done pretty well in the past 6 years for sure, but there's still so much for me to learn and for me to get so much better. I listen to the National Wake Up Calls every week too, just like you guys. I've shared this many times. I was at Summit in those workshops right with all of you guys. There was even one point where Mark was like, oh, we've already heard all this. I'm going to go. I'm like, well, I'm not, because I don't want my team seeing me walk out the store right now. So, and every workshop, I picked something up, whether it was 1 or 2 takeaways. Same thing with these Zoom calls. If the topic looks like, she's already trained on this, someone may have jumped in and said something else that you've never heard, or I may have said something that you've never heard before. So don't think that you don't have to join these every week, or the team, well, you guys do, because I see very many familiar faces. But, there's always something to pick up, I think. All right. Thank you, everybody. Great job on all of you with your celebrating your success. Chances are the other 29 of you had some things to celebrate this week, too. So be sure that you celebrate tonight before you go to sleep, something that you did this past week in your business, in your life, with your health, and your fitness, everything. But every night before you go to bed, take time to celebrate you and take time to celebrate something amazing that you have done, because chances are you have. So take notice of it. All right. Good night, guys.